and welcome to this episode of Deconstructing the Culture. I'm here with a very special guest, and I would say ProLife family friend. She's amazing, Miss Carla Diadesi. A little bit about Carla is she has actually had a weekly Fox affiliate radio show in the Philadelphia area that she rocks at and is amazing. She interviews the best and brightest leaders with candidness and openness, and she'll make you laugh but also challenge you, which is amazing. Carla is also regularly featured on political commentator news, including the #1 cable news show Fox and Friends, and many others. Her opinions have been cited in national publications, including the Wall Street Journal and the Washington Post, and many others. She's an extremely accomplished writer. Carla has authored the highly acclaimed Julia Learns children's series, which I really love, especially as an expecting mom. I'm more and more of a piqued interest in children's literature, so I love that. She is a guest writer for quite a few national publications, and last but definitely not least, most importantly, Carla is not only a public advocate, but she also advocates for her own family. Perhaps her most cherished opportunity to date, besides being a wife, is that of being a mom. Carla Diadesi, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I love everything that you're doing, and it's great to link arms with you.
Absolutely. So really quickly, very briefly, in just like a paragraph or so, tell us, our audience who are just meeting you today, how you got involved in politics. I mean, you have such a long repertoire of what you've been doing and how long you've been involved. Just tell me, how did you jump in?
Well, it's really a legacy for me. My grandparents on either side actually were very involved with religion and politics. And I know that a lot of people say that's very taboo to talk religion and politics, and how do religion and politics even come together. But I grew up in a household of grandparents, aunts and uncles, cousins, my parents also, who just believed that religion and politics actually are married and they're actually together and that we should be discussing them.
I love
So
that. That's actually very similar. My mom used to always tell me growing up, religion, sex, and politics. So these are subjects you're not supposed to talk about in polite company, but they're the ones we most desperately need to talk about in polite company. And excuse me, following that appropriately, I've lost my voice for a moment. Following that, that's why I have this podcast where we talk about religion, sex, and politics.
yes, and that's a very exciting 3 of my favorite things to discuss. So nothing is taboo in our house. And when I had my daughters about 19 years ago, I had my first daughter. I now have 19, 17, and 14. It is something that we always talked about. And I did write children's books, the conservative Christian children's books. And I teach my daughters young why we believe that all life is sanctified, and why we believe all marriage is sanctified, and why we believe that the church and community are 2 greatest institutions, and how we can use them to better society and our nation as a whole. We talk a lot about Judeo-Christian principles. So that is all in my books. And then that launched me into my radio show, which is a Fox affiliate, and that got me national recognition. And then most recently, I just felt like we needed to do even more as a family, because I really feel like pop culture has kind of stolen the narrative for sane conversation, for logical conversation. And so we wanted to kind of get a niche in the pop culture, and we thought, what better way to do it? As a mom of 3 daughters, we love shopping. That is our cardio. And I thought, why not go into the fashion industry?
And that's
So
what you're here today. That's actually my next question. So I love that you brought that up. Is you started a pro-life fashion company, which I think is the most brilliant thing. You and I are both wearing it. I'm wearing my Babes, supporting Babes. Very appropriate, because we are young people and old people. We're women warriors supporting the preborn. So that's why this is one of my favorite t-shirts you have. You have one, Culture of Life 1972. Can you tell me what Culture of Life 1972 stands for, and then
Sure.
continue
Sure.
with why
I'll
you
run with it.
started
And
your
so we
fashion?
have a lot of great jewelry too now, Lisa, as you know.
Oh yeah.
Just all of these beaded bracelets that I have a mom making for us. Anyway, like I said, we had been battling with children's books. I like to do things outside of the box. And then, of course, as a mom, being invited to talk about parenting and politics on Fox and Friends regularly, I was just seeing that the left continued to kind of rape the narrative for all things good, all things light, all things truth. So we decided to start Culture of Life 1972, and it is a great speaking tool because everyone comes up and asks when we're wearing t-shirts or dresses or joggers or jewelry or bags. And they'll say, what does 1972 mean? Is that the year that you were born? What a great t-shirt you have on. And we have the opportunity to say that this was the last year that we celebrated a culture of life in the United States of America. And sometimes the conversation just ends there. And we keep that door open, and maybe they'll go and check out the website and they'll see that those who are in our life tribe are super duper happy, and we brunch and we lunch and we do dinner and we love coffee and we play lacrosse and tennis and ski. We're very active, and this is why we promote life, because we believe that it is priceless and precious and treasured, and it is amazing. So that's a lot of the messaging that you'll see on all of our product. But then you might have opportunity to go a little step further. Maybe they'll say, what do you mean by that? And then we have opportunity to say 1973 is when Roe v. Wade, or the Supreme Court, ruled that our tiniest Americans could then be denied the right to life. And if you still have the door open, you can hit them with the number 60 million and growing. 60 million Americans have been denied the right to life since 1973. So this Fashion for Lifeline is all about pointing Gen Z, millennials, moms, dads, to why life is so amazing and why all of us deserve to grow up and live in a culture of life. We believe at COL 1972 that everyone deserves to leave a legacy of life. It's not glamorous to leave a legacy of death. It's not glamorous to cling to a culture of death. And you, of course, know, Elisa, because you've been a great influencer, an ambassador for our fashion line. You were the first one to reach out to us and say, you know, and understand the mission behind our brand and say, I love what you're doing. How can I help? How can I spread the message? You were the first one. And then, of course, Abby Johnson came on board, and so many others. We have Jaco Boyan, you know, he's battling sex trafficking. I mean, COL has really exploded. So I encourage you to become a part of our life tribe, because it is very evident that the youth in America is tired of doom and gloom and hate and death. They know that the death culture, the abortion culture, has led to opioid overdoses. It has led to suicide. It has led to school shootings. When we do not protect the tiniest small voice, this is only going to lead to a culture that does not value life. If, you know, it was Mother Teresa that said, from a violent culture breeds more violence. And if you're starting in the womb, what can be expected? It's only going to be more violence, Elisa. So we want to reclaim the message. So when you purchase anything from COL 1972, we give you very sweet messaging. We don't want you to offend anybody with your cheetah print sunglasses or your cheetah joggers. Our bathing suit collection is super fun. We have a dog collection now that has cute t-shirts. We really want to show the world why we think life is so amazing and why our life tribe is so amazing. There's millions of us that do identify as being for life. And this is really, fashion is just a medium or a mechanism to bring all of us together. And, you know, we've all seen the Michelle Williams of the world get up at the Golden Globe type events and say how abortion was so great for her, and that she believes that she wouldn't be able to accomplish what she has without aborting her children. And we just believe, as a part of the culture of life, that that is a lie. That's an untruth that sadly a lot of people have chosen to believe. But we believe that women and men are way stronger than the culture of death gives them credence. We believe that we can choose life 100% of the time, and we can still excel in our career or in our business or in getting that doctorate degree. And the reason that we believe that is because I have so many friends that perhaps did get pregnant at a time when the world was telling them it was a less desirable time to be pregnant, and they chose life for their child. And they now do have their doctorate degree, or they do have their nursing degree, or they did get married to the father of their child, and now they have 4 or 5 more kids, and they are very happily married.
And you know, my story personally mirrors that exact narrative. My mother got pregnant and had 2 babies in her teenage years in a very abusive situation in the third world country. And yet she chose life for her children anyways. Today, she's a mother of 5, very successful entrepreneur. She has national businesses that have topped ranks in their industry. And who is the left to say that women have to give up their dreams and they have to kill their children? They have to choose between one or the other, giving up your dreams or killing your children.
That's correct. So it's a lie, just like we could dissect everything that they use in their narrative. Pro-choice is a lie. And that's a lot of what I do when I do on podcasts. You're not going to see any of this messaging on col1972.com or any of our social media. But when I talk in my interviews, I do share more boldly that the left has lied to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Pro-choice is really pro-death. That's just
indeed.
exactly what it is, period. There's no choice there. They are encouraging everyone to choose abortion. So I love to call them pro-aborts or pro-death. Now they're actually calling themselves pro-birth. This is their latest thing. I don't know whether you read about this, but the pro-death, pro-aborts are now saying that they're pro-birth because they agree with the birth after 41 weeks, but I say 41 weeks because you understand that pro-abort now, at 40 weeks, at 41 weeks, at 42 weeks, they're doing infanticide in states like New York and in states like Virginia. And that's the infanticide bill. And we're trying to get protection for that. Yeah. We can talk about that also. But so now they're trying to say that they're pro-birth. Now, I want to say to every one of them that are now using that we're pro-birth, you're liars. Just take ownership of it. You're pro-abortion. You're pro-death.
Yep.
You're not pro-adoption.
It used to
You're
be
not pro-foster care.
Legal and rare. It used to be safe, legal, and rare, and right. Only when you had to. And now they've full case embraced infanticide and whenever you want for whatever reason, even no reason.
But they, again, are responding and using the mechanism of our language, right? It's not pretty to say we are pro-aborts. We are pro-death. They're killing something. We know that. Mm-hmm. We have our 4D ultrasounds. We can listen to the heartbeat at 12 weeks inside of the mom. Yep. We know that she's not going to be a mom. We know that she is a mom. We know that she's not going to have a baby. She has a child inside of her.
Indeed.
So we've allowed since 1973 the pro-aborts, the pro-death to steer our narrative, our language. And it's about time that we claim it back. And so our fashion is using that in pop culture to have productive conversation about what did happen in 1973. Why are we pointing everybody to 1972? Why do we deserve to party like it's 1972?
Absolutely. And I think it's important also to, I've talked about this many, many times on my social media pages and even on this podcast, that the abortion industry is very much in bed with the fashion industry today.
Yes.
Some people, unfortunately, still don't know that. They don't know that many of your most common mainstream fashion industry names and brand names are going to be directly linked to abortion and giving to abortion, whether that's Girl Scout cookies, which is not fashion, but it is a mainstream brand that's championed as a women's brand, and it's not. So what I love is that your brand truly does champion women. That I think it's 10% of the proceeds of every purchase at Culture of Life goes to a pro-life organization. What I think is key. Everyone wants to shop not only cute clothing, but cute clothing that also gives to an organization they can fully put their heart and money behind. That's amazing. And you have opened that option in a way that has never even existed before. Now, really quick, I want to switch tracks with you. You did something amazing earlier this year, and you had your first ever fashion show for life on a college campus. Now, I know you've done a couple of other fashion shows before, but this was a first because you brought it to the heart of where the pro-life movement is being fought, and that is on college campus. That is with our youth and the youth of today, and it's deciding in this next generation. Every generation decides, but it's influencing this generation. That's going to be the starting point for influencing the next generation of lawmakers and leaders and mothers and fathers who will make those decisions to abort or not to abort. Now, what I love is you brought a fashion show to Liberty University, which I am so honored to have been able to be a part of. It's very, very thrilling. And what I heard a lot of feedback from the students who attended your incredible event is that they felt like it was easier to introduce their friends to the pro-life movement through fashion. It wasn't, let's go to this boring pro-life speech, because that's how their pro-abortion friends are going to hear it. But no, let's go to this fashion show. Oh yeah, and they do some pro-life stuff. Let's see what happens. So tell me, is this something that we can maybe look forward to on other college campuses or in the future? Tell me a little bit about maybe what you might have in the works too in the next year or two for events and ways that we can spread this message.
So we were so honored to be invited to Liberty University. I had the privilege of speaking to 15,000 students at something called Convocation, and just share with them the mission behind our brand. And that was very well received. And as you alluded to, there's actually closer to 70 mainstream fashion brands that now give back directly to Planned Parenthood: Patagonia, North Face, Kate Spade, Tory Burch, Ann Taylor, Converse, Gap, Old Navy. These are just a
Nike.
few. Yes, that give back to Planned Parenthood. So COL 1972 is indeed the only brand that is giving back to pro-life, women in crisis, children in crisis. And we're called the ProLife fashion brand, but it's because our messaging is all very life affirming, and we give back to pro-life ministries. So we were really identifying how can we get our message out there. And so we always knew in the back of our mind that we were going to be doing fashion shows, because it's very easy for everyone to invite people to attend a fashion show for brunch or tea or just for dinner, and invite their friends, neighbors, people that they work with. So Liberty University was the first one that caught the vision and invited us to come to their campus. And we had close to 400 kids that came out to that event, stayed for 3 hours, and we did have a super fun 15 to 20-minute fashion show is usually how we do it. Very high energy. The energy in the room is palpable. We have music blasting. We have usually multiple screens that are showing just a slideshow of our models in different ways. Models at the beach, tennis, laughing, men models, because men are absolutely a part of our life tribe. They are part of the life community and making life super amazing. We need them as part of our tribe. And we also had brunch for all of the kids. It was set up very much like a fashion show. Lights were dimmed. We had strobe lights up at the front. We had tons of balloons and balloon arches. And there's a lot of energy. Our models have a lot of life. They are electrifying when they walk out on a stage. There's a lot of selfies happening. We throw a lot of giveaways out into the crowd. There are standing O's at some of our fashion shows. The kids really get into it. And then, of course, we always do a fun game that we've started doing just so people can get to know who our speakers are or who our models are. Abby Johnson is always a model for us when she can make it. She's the author of Unplanned. We like to bring you in whenever you're able to make it for us.
This last time was fun, being pregnant and doing that. I don't think it was, I don't know. It's a different kind of model. It's definitely an indicative of the pro-life culture we have. We bring out pregnant ladies. In fact, you had another very pregnant model out there. I think she was 8 or 9 months pregnant, which is awesome. You're not going to see that in our regular fashion world, but of course we're celebrating life.
Yes, and we did just launch a bump-friendly line. So we have a lot of pieces that can transition you from not being a mom to being pregnant. And then you can go back when you're not pregnant anymore to wearing those pieces. So we really are launching new pieces every week because we are competing with mainstream big fashion brands. So we want people coming to our page to buy things for anniversaries, birthdays, friends, just for themselves, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. Mm-hmm. We really are trying to compete as best we can.
And I think you guys are doing an amazing job, honestly. Just having watched your line now, I think congratulations to us. Our friendiversary was in January of 1 year of knowing each other and working together, which I think is, well, it's not, I don't know, I wouldn't say working together. It's more like playing together. But we have had an amazing time, and you really have done an incredible job at consistently bringing in new fashion. I feel like your viewers could go back every week or every 2 weeks and find something new and exciting. So maybe if it's not your cup of tea right this minute, you're going to see something that is your cup of tea in a minute, which was
Yes.
awesome, exciting to me. I have a couple of really rapid fire questions for you,
Sure.
just like before we go ahead and wrap up. I am curious, you have 3 beautiful daughters, very godly daughters. And I'm curious though, when you are making decisions with them and you're picking out new fashion coming out, do you guys ever disagree on the fashion coming to the page? Just, you don't have to get specific, but like, how does that work with the 4 of you kind of looking at that?
Sure, absolutely. So it's 4 women in the house. Bless my husband. I've been married to him for, it's going to be 25 years coming up. Adore him. He's the king in our house. He's the king, right? I mean, he has his 3 princesses. He has me as the queen. But actually, it's funny because Lenny has a lot of say in a lot of our pieces that are coming out. But anyway,
Lenny's your husband, for those who don't know.
Yes,
Lenny is
that's
Carla's
my husband, and he's behind the scenes because he's a medical doctor, but he is 100% for life and in everything that we do, and he models and is always with us. You've met him multiple times. I hang out with him all the time. So anyway, yes, there absolutely is. Victoria, my 19-year-old, is the big boss. And so she has certain colors that she loves. She is big into the text and the wording. Because she just doesn't like a lot of stuff with words, where her sisters and I love stuff with messaging. So if you ever see some of our pieces that just have like COL on the sleeve, that's probably something that was designed by Victoria. The shirt that you have on was designed by Isabella, and my shirt was designed by me when we launched first. This is part of our signature collection. Yes, so we all absolutely do have our own, like, how we think things should be done. But overall, all of us just adore fashion. So it's been a lot of fun for us, and it's brought us together as a family. And it's my dream because Victoria was off at college. She's home now, of course, but, you know, it keeps me connected with her. I'm like, FaceTiming or snapping her every day. Like, what do you think of this color? What do you think of this bathing suit? What do you think of these skinny jeans? And so for those of you who are moms, and I was a homeschool mom for many years, I just adore having constant communication with my kids. And it's my prayer that COL 1972 will be around, like Ralph Lauren is around. Like, it's going to be something that's here for you. It's not a flash in the pan. We're trying to be very purposeful with the collections that we bring to you. We're trying to be very purposeful with the people that are ambassadors and our influencers, because we want to be taken very seriously as a fashion brand, and we hope to be here in 50 or 100 years for you.
Of course. Now, I do want to just, if you had to choose one piece that's your all-time favorite you've come out with, I want to know kind of what that is. For me personally, I know that my audience, because I share everything that I wear, Culture of Life, I share obviously on Instagram especially. And I think if I had to guess, my tribe's favorite thus far was around Christmas time. You came out with a little red dress, and I wore a lot. I wore it to some conferences and some Christmas parties and some tea parties, and people loved the little red dress. So that's just speaking for my tribe, since they're not here to speak for themselves. And then me personally, my favorites probably, I think they were the Bella skinny wash jeans. Those look super cute. I also like them because my husband really liked them. And if that's them, then hey, they're going to be a favorite. So what is if you had to pick one piece, what's your favorite?
Okay, so by the way, the red dress is coming back, and we're adding sizes 1X, 2X, and 3X.
That's amazing.
So keep checking. People should sign up for our newsletter, which you can go to col1972.com, sign up there, and then once, twice a week, we tell you all the new stuff that's rolling out. But I'm going to tell you that my favorite piece that I never take off, that I wear in the shower, I wear to sleep, I wear in the pool, is my 1972 necklace. Yep. And the reason that I adore this so very much is because, we countered Selena Gomez and many others that in Hollywood were wearing 1973. And so they were applauding and praising the year that Roe v. Wade came in. And really, it's almost like they're wearing a tombstone around their neck of 60 million babies. They don't see it that way, right? Because they've been so callous and indoctrinated to thinking that they have the right to choose to kill another child, to kill a life, their very own. And it's really sad. I don't want to blame anyone that believes in that, because I sincerely believe that they've swallowed a poisonous pill, a lie, that life somehow does not deserve life, that it's not as privileged and precious and as your life or my life, which is just a lie. So I love the 1972 necklace. I have people reaching out to me daily telling me how much they love this necklace. And this is something that we've been expanding, as you know. We have it in the semi-precious metals. We have it in the precious metals. And we just actually launched it in platinum, because we do have people that reach out to us and say, you know, my wife had 2 or 3 abortions before I met her. And now we have 5 children. And I want to buy this platinum necklace for her because she's going to wear it forever. And these are pieces that they're actually considering handing down to their children, to their grandchildren. When you buy a gold piece, a sterling silver piece, a platinum piece, this is something that you're handing down. We also have, which, can I tell you what my future favorite piece is going to be?
Of course.
It's very Tiffany-esque. They're rings that have 1972 in Roman numerals.
Oh, I like
they're fabulous. So again, we are just continuing to bring you better quality and more fashionable pieces every week, and you don't want to miss out on what we have for you.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I do have to say, I would have gone with the necklace too if I was thinking about your entire line, not just our clothing, because I'm going to be honest with you, I wear my necklace at least 5 out of 7 days a week. Yeah. It can go with everything. It's so beautiful and dainty. I have it in the gold, which I love because it's a precious metal. And so it's going to last, you know, a lifetime with good care. And it's something that I really do think it's definitely my most worn piece of jewelry. And other than my wedding ring, probably my favorite jewelry that I own, because it is so meaningful. And it is, you're right, when you're wearing the pro-death 1973 necklace by Selena Gomez, it is a chain, a weight of all the babies that have been killed. But when you're wearing 1972, you're talking about life, not just the life that you are recognizing for all the babies that have died that you believe deserve life, the life that will continue on and will happen because we're speaking about it today. And to me, it makes me think of my mother and her sacrifices to bring me life, which is something I can obviously never repay her. And so it really is, absolutely, I had to say, you know, recommendation to our tribe: if you're going to start with one piece, start with the necklace. There's a lot of different options, you know, depending on what your budget is, but start with the necklace. It's a wonderful conversation starter, and also just a reminder daily of the lives that we're fighting for. And it's really just beautiful and dainty in every way. Now, really quickly, I want to bring one more thing to our tribe's attention before we close with our last question, and that is, I want to bring your attention to the link that you're going to see in the description of this on YouTube, on SoundCloud, on iTunes, wherever it is that you're listening. You're going to see a link, and that is my link from Culture of Life, and it tells Culture of Life that, hey, I'm sending y'all, and that I am supporting this, and this is something I put my whole heart behind and support with everything, because it is so worthy of it. So I want to ask you to take a moment, either now while you're listening, if you can multitask, or if you're watching on YouTube, for sure, open that and check that out as soon as you're done listening. Go through, fill your shopping cart, and I think the code is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Carla, Elisa, ELISA 20 for 20% off for podcast listeners, but only for a week. So you need to get on it right now. Don't wait. If you want that 20% off, go ahead and use my code Elisa, ELISA 20 for 20% off all Culture of Life merchandise. Use that link and use that code. And then Carla, last question for you is, how can the Conservative Babes audience, which is, you know, we share a lot of the same audience, obviously, because we're all pro-life. We all are pro-babies and pro-love. How can our audience contact you for speaking engagements, bringing you to their college campus if they want their own fashion show, inquiries about clothing and new lines? How can they reach out to you best and become a part of their movement, and also become part of your affiliate program?
Sure. Go to col1972.com and you'll click on contact. And then
the link in my bio, and then go to contact.
Correct. Please do that. And then my personal email is there. It's Carla at col1972.com. But that's how everyone gets in touch with me. I was invited to the United Kingdom to do their March for Life there, to do a fashion show before. We were invited to Italy in November to do a fashion show there. It's really becoming international. The United Kingdom just opened up their first shop there. They are a wholesaler. We do have a wholesale program now. now. We have about 4 other boutiques across the United States that are carrying. Puerto Rico is thinking of becoming a wholesaler. I have a great affiliate there. Our affiliate link is also at COL 1972. Just click on Elisa's link. It will bring you to everything that you need to know for the affiliate program. And our affiliates get to have discounts. They get to know about items before they are launched so that they can get to make sure they get all the sizes and colors that they want. They also get to share that with their family and friends before we open it up to the public. And of course, they get a percentage back and a commission for everything. So it's great if you want to make some money on the side for extras and you want to stay in your home and make money, or on vacation you can make money. Our affiliate program is perfect for that.
Absolutely. Carla, thank you again so much for being here with us today. Thank you for the light that you're bringing to the movement, the light that you're bringing to the fashion industry in the world. Thank you. God bless you. And I hope to see you again very soon on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Elisa.
Hey there, thanks for listening to this podcast or watching on YouTube. I just want to thank you for being part of the Conservative Babes tribe, for supporting this. You have no idea how much that means. Hey, do me a favor, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, but not just subscribe, hit the little bell, because that's going to be your notification bell. Today, in today's world, subscriptions don't mean a whole lot on YouTube. You actually have to click the alarm bell so you can actually see when the podcast goes live. And of course, when I'm pregnant, things can be a little unpredictable about what time of day it's going to come out, because you never know. I could be throwing up or I could be feeling great. We'll see. Depends on the week. No, but really, thank you for being part of the tribe. Go ahead and click subscribe. If you're on iTunes, go ahead and leave a 5-star review and share with a friend. God bless you. Have a great day.